These rolls are so soft and so delicious you won't be able to stop eating them. If you like cheese, this one recipe you don't want to miss out on. I will show you step by step how you can make them too. To make the dough, we need a half a cup of milk, 1 cup of water, 2 teaspoons of yeast, dry active yeast, 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Now I have here already 2 cups, so I'm going to add 2.5 cups more of flour. And another half a cup. It can use anywhere from 4.5 to 5 cups of flour, but we start with 4.5 cups of flour. And then in the half cup of milk, we need 2 teaspoons of yeast, dry active yeast, the traditional one, not instant. That's why we use to dissolve it in milk. And then 1 teaspoon of sugar. 1 teaspoon of sugar. Give it a stir. And then we'll set it aside to foam until it gets all bubbly and foamy. Usually it takes about 5 minutes. And then we continue. Okay, so we set this aside. We also need 1 large egg. So we need 4.5 to 5 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons vegetable oil, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of water, and then here I have 2 teaspoons of dry active yeast, half a cup of warm milk, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then we'll also need 1 egg. The filling, we need 150 grams of feta and 250 grams of cottage cheese. And then we also need a 1/4 cup of sour cream, 4 tablespoons of fresh chopped dill weed, and half a teaspoon of salt. And then for the egg wash, we are going to use 1 egg and some milk to make the egg wash. That's it. So we are going to mix everything together for the filling. The best way to measure is by weight. So if you are baking a lot, then I highly recommend getting an electronic scale. It's precise and it's absolutely a must for precise measuring. So to make the filling, we are going to add everything to this bowl. Cottage cheese and the feta. I should crumble it a little bit. And then you can use an immersion blender like I'm going to use, or if you don't have one, then no worries. You can use a potato masher. Also, I'm adding the sour cream. Okay, there you go. And the salt. And let's give it a go. I think this is pretty good. And now I'm going to add the dill. And it has to be fresh dill. Or you can use from the freezer. If you've been following me, you know that I like to freeze things. And one of the things I like to put in the freezer is the dill. So just give it a stir. Mix everything together. And I'm going to just set it aside and be ready for my dough when it's done. Okay, so now we're going to make the dough. I placed the flour into my mixing bowl, and now I'm going to break the egg into my yeast, which has foamed. And just give it a whisk, just to break up the egg. And then I'm going to add it to the flour and also the water and the oil, and start my machine on low. And now I'm going to add the salt. I have here another half a cup of flour. As I said, it takes between 4.5 and 5 cups of flour on standby if I need to. Right now, I'm using 4.5 cups of flour. I just added a little bit more flour, what's missing from this, because I felt it was a little bit too sticky. So now the dough is coming away from the bowl, and so it's looking good. I'm gonna stop the machine and take it out. So I've been kneading it for about 5 minutes. So I'm going to take it out. Let's take it to the table. Here it is. Going to remove it from the bowl. And just form it into a ball. Add a little bit of flour and form it into a ball. And then I'm going to place it in my bowl, into this bowl, and let it rise until it doubles. The dough has rested for 45 minutes, and look how fluffy it is, has doubled in volume. So I'm going to take it out on my board, and I'm going to divide it. Okay, here is one mistake that I made. Oil your bowl before placing the dough. I completely forgot about it, and it's been sticking to my bowl. So always grease your bowl. I'm going to divide it, each section, in 8. So cut it first in 2 and then in 2 again. And we'll make rolls. Like little buns. So I divided them in 16 parts, and now I'm gonna cover them and let them relax here for like 20 minutes. Now they are ready to roll them out. We take one and then put some oil on the board and stretch it out. Stretch it out into about 6 inches like across, and then about 18 inches long. We need oil to make it as thin as you can without breaking it. And now we are going to take about a spoonful of filling. So we take about this much of a filling and then spread it on the upper part like this. And then place this on top, the lower part, and then roll it up. Just like this. You can stretch it a little bit and then take one of the ends and make it into a fine wheel like this and tuck this end under just like that, and then we place it on a parchment paper lined baking sheet. So it's important to oil the board or your table, wherever you are doing this. Make sure you have oil enough. That helps to push out the dough. And don't be afraid, it won't rip. It will. See how thin it is? You can see how thin it becomes. Okay, so, and then you take the filling, again, spread it. Then cover with the bottom part. Like this. Press it down a bit and then roll it up.
Are you enjoying this recipe? Remember to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And also, remember to leave me a comment. I would love to read your comments.
A good spoonful of filling. Once they are rolled up, we let them rise for half an hour or 40 minutes. Now they have risen, so now I'm going to make an egg wash, which is 1 egg whisked with a tablespoon of milk. Using a silicone brush, brush each roll with egg wash, and then we are going to bake them in preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 35 minutes or until they become golden brown. The rolls are done and they look fantastic. I'm going to break into one and try it. It's so soft and so delicious with all the filling. So good. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Give it a try and let me know what you think. And in the meantime, remember to hit the like button. Thanks for watching.